What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I am with my homie, Dr. M3.
Here I am.
Dr. M3. Today we are in his 2008 Audi S6 with 26,006 miles on it. This is 2022. This is 2008. It has 26,000 miles on it. And when he started bringing it to Boston, which we talked about a lot in the last video, covering the whole modification process, go check it out. It's up there. It had 24,000 miles on it.
It had 24,000 miles.
So you've now put, and I probably put about 400 and change, but you've now put about 1,600 miles on the S6.
Yeah.
Stock and modified.
Yep.
What are your initial thoughts on this? Keeping in mind that this is a car from 2008. It's not going to have the most modern technology.
Yeah.
But if someone's going to buy one today,
Yeah.
what should they expect? And what, well, I guess let me get into what your initial thoughts are.
My initial thoughts. First of all, again, I'm a BMW guy, but one of the things that I love, and I think they're endangered, right, is these big motors. In fact, they're gone. They're done.
Yeah,
right?
Everything has turbos.
Everything has turbos. It's just done. So for a naturally aspirated V10 from the mid to late 2000s, first of all, I was kind of surprised how well this rides, how relatively fuel efficient it is.
We got 20 miles to the gallon.
20 miles to the gallon. I don't have another V10 or anything higher that does anything near
Close to that, right.
So just overall, my initial, when I first drove the car just stock, I was like, all right, I can see what this is. This was a gentleman's saloon. It's got a little bit more power. It was quiet. Again, that's what it was. That's the target demographic that we're going for.
We've talked a lot about this, but this car comes from an era where the S cars were not designed to be race cars.
Yes.
The RS cars, maybe sure. The M cars, maybe sure. But the S cars fell in that middle where it was, hey, oh, you bought an A6?
Yeah.
Well, my S6 is a step up in luxury, performance, and comfort.
Yes.
It's not just faster. It does everything a little bit better. Leather dash. It has, stitching on the dash. It's got the V10. It's just a better overall package. And Audi wasn't coming into it saying, oh, let's make sure businessman could go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
That's not what this was.
That's an added side benefit of putting a V10 in it. But this is an era where Audi was building limousines, and then the baller version of the limousine, and then the fast version of the limousine. And man, they did a damn good job with this car. This car has, the first time I sat in it, I was like, wow, it has all the DNA of the stuff that I know so well, which is most of my Audis are from the generation after, or two generations after this car.
Exactly.
But you can feel that this is an Audi, and you can feel that they were finding their way into kind of like the really, really good package that the C7 was. But what a car!
It rides well. The seats.
The seats
One
are
of the
super
things you know
comfortable.
exactly. I'm telling you, this is the car that is the most comfortable car that has some performance. Never did rub. We're still dialing.
We're dialing the pin in.
But yeah, it's like, it really is. It's just one of those things you're like, yeah.
And I came into the car expecting modern S car.
Yeah.
Which threw my perception for a loop. I was like, wow, this car isn't very good. But once I shifted that kind of thought process,
For the time period.
if you're going to buy one of these, this car is literally designed to do between 70 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour on the highway. Comfortably, isolating you from everything else around you.
Yep.
And whatever else it does is a side benefit.
Exactly. I agree.
This is, again, from an era where the businessmen would sit in the left lane and just absolutely bully you out of the way. The blue doesn't help. The blue, you come bobbing up on people. They move over. But, I mean, this thing, we're doing 80 miles an hour right now, and, like, I'm tiptoeing on the gas.
Yeah.
We're getting 20.1 miles to the gallon. Like, it just does this very well. Now, some downsides of the C6 S6. On the higher mileage examples, the intake manifold runner flaps go bad. And there is a very limited supply of intake manifolds left out there. I believe almost all of them are owned by my homies at JHM.
Really?
And they're currently going for $3,300 at the time of
I actually saw, obviously when I was buying this, I read a bunch of things, did some videos just to kind of read up on what are the things. But other than, I mean, there are just a few things. There's not a lot that goes wrong with these things if you're maintaining them, right? Like, all of the things.
All of the things that go wrong are expensive. There's just not a lot of them.
Well, guess what?
So it's kind of interesting because if you're in the market for a C6 S6, chances are you're buying between like 80 to 120,000 mile example. That's probably going to need some control arms. The intake manifold may have been done. Get receipts if the guy who you're buying it from or lady says that it's been done and doesn't have receipts for it. It hasn't been done. But you know, control arms are expensive. Suspension related stuff is expensive. There's not a whole ton of aftermarket stuff available for this car.
That's the thing.
But if you need a car to go to work, come home, you're not the most concerned about gas mileage, and you just want to be comfortable, I would say you'd be hard pressed to find. I mean, you can find them. 2011 with 80,000 miles is like 17, 18 grand. Probably get it for 15. A 2008 with 100,000 miles is like $7,000 or $8,000.
Okay.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find a car in that price range that cruises at 80 miles an hour better
and ticks the boxes. Yeah, I think just overall, you can tell the interior, by modern standards, a little bit dated, but it's actually, when I say dated, it's also not, it's not so offensive that you look at it and go,
yeah,
right? Like, you reach over and you kind of want, you know, your touch screen, and you want it to be color because you want your, you know, your CarPlay, whatever. There are just a few things that you're just accustomed to now, maybe.
Might be a really funky angle on the camera, but I'll show you. This is back when Audi was using orange font in the heads-up display, and man, it's bad.
Yeah, it's just, you look now. I mean, it was cool then, I guess.
But like we said, the leather-wrapped dash, the stitching there, like they did everything well. It just, some of it, especially the technology portion, which is to be expected, is dated after 14 years.
Yeah. But just think about it, 14 years.
I know.
This is a 14-year-old car.
Doesn't feel like it.
That's just cruising like...
This is a 14-year-old car, and our biggest complaint is that the backup camera is too narrow, and that it doesn't have CarPlay.
It doesn't have CarPlay.
Like, that's a pretty darn good car.
Yeah, seriously.
So, if you are on the hunt for one of these, and you want to do 80 miles an hour on the highway really well, this is where it's at. If you want to go carve back roads, maybe not the car for you. Although, I mean, with some changes and some touches and whatever.
But here's the deal, though. If you're a family guy, you have kids. Yeah. Right?
Lots of room in the back.
And lots of room in the back. And you kind of wanted, and I assume there are some tunes out there for the C6.
Yeah, Matt at Jackal Motorsports has a good file for this car. Wake it up a little bit.
Yeah. So, you know, you could probably do some stuff to kind of get it there a little bit. So, but overall, I'm pretty happy.
What a quiet, nice, luxurious place to be. Like, he's gonna do 8 hours home to Pittsburgh between today and tomorrow, and
it'll be nothing. Yeah, it'll be good.
I think that's it. I think we covered pretty much everything. If you guys have any more questions about the S6, feel free to either leave them in the comments, or you could go follow Dr. M3 on Instagram and follow up when he posts some stuff on his story about the car. Yep. Keep an eye out for Doc's video on this car. And I think that's everything.
That's it.
Awesome.
Love this car.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and we will catch you guys
in the next video.
Hey, tag team there. All right.
Peace.
Bye.